What's up, everyone? This is Movie and Game Lover 98, and today I'll be doing a DVD review on this Blue's Clues DVD from 2002, the very last release from 2002, or just the only DVD from 2002 in general, and it's Get to Know Joe. Yep, I'm finally getting back into doing Blue's Clues DVD reviews, finally. Let's do it with Get to Know Joe. So yep, let's get started, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So yep, here's what the front of the DVD looks like. The history on Get to Know Joe. It was first released onto DVD. Well, it was the only time it was released on DVD in November 2002, on the 5th day of November 2002, the same time as the VHS It's Joe Time was released. So yep, that was the really short history. Now let's look at my copy on DVD. So yep, here's what my copy looks like on DVD. Yep, it says right there, the Nick Jr. logo with the Paw Prints logo. Blue's Clues logo, Play to Learn with Blue thing, Get to Know Joe logo, and you have Joe wearing an orange shirt with blue on top of his shoulders, and Joe is giving 2 thumbs up. Yeah, on the VHS's Meet Joe, he was wearing he was wearing an orange shirt on the Meet Joe VHS, and on the VHS It's Showtime, he was wearing a yellow shirt. But in the majority of the episodes, he was wearing his green shirt, which you'll see in a moment. Yep. Oh, yeah. Nick Jr. DVD with the blue text on DVD. Featuring 2 volumes, Meet Joe and It's Joe Time. Here's the front. Here's the spine, which is different because the DVD logo on the Nick Jr. logo on this one is orange, but that one is blue. And product number and Paramount 90th anniversary, because this was released in late 2002 as part of Paramount's 90th anniversary. Anyway, here's the back cover. Blue's Clues logo, Nick Jr. Paw Print logo, Get to Know Joe, and you have 2 snapshots. This one is from Joe Gets a Clue and Steve Goes to College. Anyways, the 4 episodes you get on this release are Joe's First Day, Joe Gets a Clue, Steve Goes to College, and The Big Book About Us. Anyway, promotes for Joe and Tell, aka Joe's First Day, and Joe Gets a Clue. They don't have the promotes for the bonus ones, Steve Goes to College and The Big Book About Us. Anyway, special features, Nick Jr. Parents Guide, the Blue's Clues 100th episode celebration, which that would get its own VHS release a short while after this DVD was released. Interactive menus, episode selection, and Dolby Digital English Stereo, which episode selection is not really a bonus feature, that's really in the menu. Anyway, there's links to the Nick Jr. website and legalese down below. And this is about 96 minutes long. Anyway, yep, here's just the disc. No characters on the disc. Just the blue thing with lines around it, or squares, whatever you call it. So, yep, this is a nice Blue's Clues DVD. It's the first one where we get to meet Steve's brother, Joe, in all these episodes. Yep, Joe's First Day, where, of course, we get to see Joe for the first time. And they just play Blue's Clues to figure out what is Joe going to show at Show and Tell at Steve and Blue's house. And yeah. Because, me, it reminds me of when I used to do Show and Tell back when I was in preschool and even in 1st and 2nd grade and all that. And yeah, Joe Gets a Clue, where they have to play the game of Blue's Clues. Will teach Joe how to play Blue's Clues for the first time. They show him how to play, and eventually they can let Joe try out these things. He gets to take his first skidoo, try out sitting in the thinking chair, thinking for the first time, and yeah, and they get to go into a skidoo's thing where they go into the box of shapes, and they just have to figure out clues to figure out where they're hiding, and yeah. Both these are good episodes, but yeah, Steve Goes to College, we've got to talk about. Yeah, when I watched this episode back then as a kid, I started to cry like when Steve was off the scene and I didn't want him to leave. Because it's almost reminiscent of, I'm going to say this, it's reminiscent of the Dragon Tales episode, moving on from Season 3, and the Thomas episode from Season 21, A Shed for Edward. Where those ones, well, I didn't cry in those episodes, but this one, absolutely, because I didn't want Steve to leave. Well, I didn't really cry in A Shed for Edward from Thomas of Season 21, but this one, absolutely yes, because I didn't want him to leave. But anyways, yeah, I didn't want to just cry throughout the entirety of the episode, but I cried at the very end. But anyways, The Big Book About Us, where it's the first time we get to do a normal episode with Joe now being the host instead of Steve. But at least in Steve Goes to College, it's the first time Joe gets to write down the 3 clues. doing it with his notebook for the first time, but this is the first full Joe episode, The Big Book About Us, where there's no Steve. But I'll briefly talk about the Blue's Clues 100th episode celebration, which that did premiere back in close to summer of 2002, because that was really fun to watch. Because, they take us back to, when they did 100th episodes of, 100 of everything, and hundreds of, the playdates that the viewer came to come over and play and visit, and yeah. And even Steve did come back for a brief moment, which was cool. So that's why I would just skip the Big Book About. This is like when I'm watching episodes, even when Steve leaves, I'll just watch the Blues Clues episode, 100th episode celebration. And yeah. So anyways, yep, I think this is a nice Blues Clues DVD. Yeah, Get to Know Joe is one of the coolest Blues Clues DVDs I've ever seen, because, I remember renting this with Dragon Tales, Believe in Yourself, and Thomas. Well, 3 Thomas releases. Some of them CGI, one is model. And I remember liking this because, I didn't want to watch the Joe episode, The Big Book About Us, but I did want to watch it, but unfortunately it was scratched. But luckily I found this DVD copy, and luckily it works. Well, it'll work, yes. I might try it out later, one of these days. So anyways, yep, I think Get to Know Joe is recommended to Blues Clues fans, old and new, especially because, yes, I forgot to mention, I did watch... Well, no, I didn't watch this, but I got this because, I heard that the Blues Clues Blues Big City Adventure released last year on Paramount Plus, and I watched it, and I liked it. So, yes, I'm going to say I wanted to do this review in honor of me trying out Blues Big City Adventure last year. And, yeah. If you guys out there, I'm not going to spoil what happens in Blues Big City Adventure, but we're talking about this. Yeah, if you guys want to see this one where we get to see Joe for the first time and see the 100th episode celebration, definitely pick up this DVD. But if you guys out there don't really want to get this DVD, that's fine. Because, you don't want to watch the Steve Goes to College episode because, that's the last we get to see Steve before he's off the scene, and yeah. So anyways, yep, that's going to be it for this DVD review, everyone, on Get to Know Joe. Yeah, the Blues Clues DVD, Get to Know Joe. So, yep, if you guys out there don't have this DVD, you might have to try your hardest to find it because it's really hard to find sometimes. Lucky me, I got this in a lot back in eBay of last year, and yeah. So anyways, yep, that's going to be it for this DVD review, everyone, on Blues Clues Get to Know Joe. Hopefully you guys like this DVD review, and hopefully stick around for more DVD reviews, as well as maybe some movie reviews coming eventually soon. So yep, hopefully you guys enjoyed this DVD review of Get to Know Joe, the Blues Clues DVD, and stick around for more DVD reviews, or maybe some other stuff coming possibly soon. Yep, stick around for those things coming up soon, everyone.